Hello festival goers of the internet, I'm the Festival Finesser, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about another tour that has been announced for 2023. This is the Atliens Space Cathedral tour, and I usually don't talk about tours on this channel, but it was this tour and the Keizo XL Unleashed tour, which I also recently talked about on the channel, that kept coming up in my newsfeed for like 2 days. It was every time I logged into Instagram, I was seeing this tour or that tour, and what's crazy is when this tour was announced, the Atliens tour, I realized I don't even follow Atliens, and I was like, how did I find out about this tour? And it's because of all the artists that are playing support on this tour. And that's a main reason I want to talk about this tour, because to be honest, Atliens music is not music I really vibe with personally. It's very spacey, it's very experimental, and if you guys know, I'm here for the dubstep, the heavy. If you don't know, hello, what's good on the Festival Finesser? I'm a videographer and content creator here on YouTube and Instagram with a channel that focuses on music festivals and live going experiences with a focus on dubstep and rhythm. I very rarely listen to like weird, wubby kind of experimental stuff. It has to really just kind of speak to me and hit my ears different. And if I'm listening to it, it's in the morning, it's, you know, it's a vibe, it's a mood. It's not something I'm into really at a festival. When I go to a festival, I want to get crazy, I want to wild out.
Oh, we should be hitting different.
Atliens at a festival will definitely provide more of a heavy, high energy kind of set. They will also throw in some weird, you know, wubby, deep kind of stuff as well. And sometimes it gets more weird than heavy depending on the festival. They definitely do know how to rock a crowd, and their, you know, live sets are like 100% 180 from their, you know, produced stuff. But I really fuck with their sets from the first time I've seen them. I was like, holy shit, this set is crazy. And you know, they have a very good song selection. It's very just, you know, they play what you want to hear in a sense. They play a lot of classic, a lot of like, you know, poppin', you know, top 100 songs, but they also play a lot of classic shit. They also play a lot of new shit, a lot of unreleased, and they just kind of got to that level of being like, you know, well-known DJs aside from producers. They just have a lot of fucking IDs, you know, and it's just like they're fucking huge, and they're big enough to go on tour and have these crazy support acts coming with them. And this is not like a bus tour. If I was gonna look at it, there's just too many gaps in between, like, you know, weeks at a time where they're just not playing shows. But I want to look at these artists on here first, because like I said, so many of these artists are artists I fuck with heavy, and what's crazy is these are artists that I've been listening to and fucking with for a long time, and in these, you know, recent years becoming the Festival Finesser, these artists have actually become cool with me, and I've talked to them and had conversations with them, whether it's in person or, you know, via DM, and I've, you know, gotten to meet them at Lost Lands, and just, it's really fucking cool to just be walking around and chilling with these artists at a festival and just having conversations and texting them, and like, it's really just like surreal. So let's look at these artists here. In the top tier, we have Calcium, who is also going on tour with Keizo, so he's just fucking having a crazy year for 2023. Shout out Adam. And then we have my boy Hesh. Again, fucking crazy, big fan. And we have Hole, fucking, in fact, dude, like, this shit is crazy right off the bat. That's just like a lot of, I guess that's more of like your rhythm kind of vibes, you know, not so much Calcium, but Hesh, Hole, in fact, definitely going to be giving you some rhythm vibes for sure. You know, Bamba's a very good, you know, complement of Atliens. She can get heavy, she can get weird, but you know, you don't really know like what kind of genre she kind of like falls into, because, you know, her produced stuff is different from her live stuff as well. With Calcium, Hash, Hole, and Infect, you know, their produced stuff is what you're kind of gonna get in a set, and especially artists like Calcium and Hesh and all of them. You're gonna get the original tracks that you want to hear with the new stuff and the doubles, and you know, it's just, you know what you're gonna get, and it's all, the sets are very similar, but it's also like, I feel like these artists are very big on like playing original music. They have so much original music, you know. Calcium, every time I've seen him, well, the last couple times I've seen him, it's been all original sets. Hole is like 90%, 80% original music. Same thing with Hash, it's a lot of original music, and In Fact as well, a lot of original music. And In Fact has a lot of IDs, a lot of plates and shit. But Vampa too, I heard. I haven't really seen Vampa. She's not on my radar as heavily. But my friends, when I saw her at Summoning Fest and Lawson, they were like, yo, we were getting down to Vampa, bro. Like, what the fuck is she doing right now? So I've been hearing good things about her, and I have to kind of get her on my radar and see what's up. And maybe I will on this tour. I look at this New York City date. So next up we have Benda, another heavy act on here. And Benda is someone who has been on my radar for artists who double. Every time I see him, his doubles are fucking crazy. And he's always got new ones, fresh ones, and he's an artist that I can definitely appreciate, you know, who doubles. Cod Dubs, another homie. I've been filming him for a long time, and just every time I see him, he throws the fuck down. He's kind of branded himself on, you know, doubles, triples, and chopping. and he just, you know, the slice and dice mixes, he fucking goes crazy, and he does it live. It's no edits, it's all fucking 2 and 3 songs, even 4 songs at once, and he very rarely plays one track, and it's just fucking madness. And that is another potential artist I would have the opportunity to film, because like I said, long time homie, just in New York City, and I see him, he's gotten cool, and it's just like, as I've grown, he's always someone that's been behind the scenes, and it's a familiar face, you know, and I just always dap him up and just chill him for a second and just shoot the shit. So shout out COD Dubs. Here's one of my favorite sets, probably the favorite set at Atliens this year. It's fucking crazy, madness, the crowd energy was insane. That's exactly how I would imagine it, you know, for the tour. COD Dubs does not miss, and it's always rowdy. Next up, we have Cyclops, who is on more of the weird side of things, in my opinion. He can get heavy, just like Atliens, but in my opinion, you know, the more produced stuff is on the more weird side. I can imagine him getting heavier for live sets. I feel like most artists on here can definitely bring a heavy side during their live sets, but they also, you know, the produced stuff and they're kind of liking, you know, their vibe is more weird, experimental, and, you know, Wakan vibes for sure. Next up, we have the homie Drink Your Water, and this is someone who I've just been fucking with for a minute. He definitely has more of this like experimental, deep, kind of like drippy sound, and I guess that could be where he gets the Drink Your Water name from. It does have like a heavy punch at times, but it's definitely more, I feel, weird and wonky. But I saw him at Atliens, and he can get heavy. He can even bring some kind of like rhythm, you know, style vibes, and kind of just sounds in his sets. And I didn't get to see the whole set because I was running around, but I am really hyped to catch him on tour. If you're into that weird kind of Wakan style bass, definitely check him out, but he's definitely going to bring some heavy for his live sets as well. Next up, we have my homie Jekyll and Hyde, and I've been fucking with them since they were 2 people. For a long time, I've been fucking with Jekyll and Hyde, and just recently they have separated and become a one-man show. No bad blood, just, you know, personal things, whatever, but it is now Luke running the show, and he has been fucking doing it, man. I'm subscribed to the Patreon, and he just has he has so much unreleased music, bro. The plates are fucking crazy, and you get that Jekyll and Hyde sound, that distorted, stompy. It's kind of like Hole, but less rhythmy, and they do have some kind of like rhythm swing tracks. Well, he has some rhythm swing tracks that I've heard in some sets, but for the most part, it's stompy, it's dark, it's deep in a sense, and it's very distorted, and but it's heavy, and it's a very good, like, I feel like Jekyll and Hyde is a very good kind of like opening. He'll get you kind of like warmed up, because it's not like mosh pit heavy, but it's heavy, it's dark, it's grimy, and it just gets you moving. And yeah, it's definitely a vibe, and I feel like it fits the Atliens vibe very well because they're very spacey and dark, and Jekyll and Hyde is also very dark, just a little bit heavier in the production and the live sets. So Jekyll and Hyde, you know, is one of those artists which, you know, what you hear, what you're gonna get in a live set, but you also are gonna hear so much you've never heard from Jekyll and Hyde, but it's still a Jekyll and Hyde sound. And he does a very good job of like keeping that sound design like locked in, but also keeping a nice variety as well. Next up, we have Shivers. This also kind of stands out to me on this lineup. I mean, not so much in regards to the support, because the support is crazy. And again, if you had this support, you know, in Atliens headlining on a one-day event, I would get tickets to that in a second, bro, because this lineup is fucking stacked, and it's just very well rounded. It's a lot of my favorite artists, a lot of artists that I really focus on a personal level, you know, as people and as musicians and artists as well. So Shivers is one of those as well, man. Just a super humble dude, an awesome person, and someone that has shown a lot of love and support to this channel and me as a person as well, you know, for a long time.
Shivers, can I get a year?
Yeah. Oh yeah, while we're here, you don't know who I am, Mr. Shutdown, aka Shelly and Shivers, and you're locked into the festival Finesse.
Yeah, bro, like all of these artists, Calcium, Hesh, Hole, Benda, COD Dubs, Drake Your Water, Jekyll and Hyde, and Shivers, I have literally had personal conversations with via DM and just in person. I've kind of basically chilled with, not so much Hole, but you know, I've dapped up and chilled with, had conversations with most of these artists, and they all know who I am. And it's just fucking crazy, and it's very humbling, and it's cool that like I made it to this point to have artists that I fuck with and I've been listening to and kind of like looking up to for so long, and just seeing now know me as Brian in a sense, and it's just crazy. So maybe not as Brian, but as the festival Finesse, but I'll take that. They know me, they know the face, they know the logo, they know what I do, and they let me do what I do. They want me to do what I do, and it's cool that they support me as, you know, the kid with a GoPro, who is evolved from a GoPro, I must say. I'm gonna throw it in there that I'm doing things on a Sony camera now and have actually, you know, but to be on like Atliens stages and to have management behind me and like supporting me and showing love and letting me do what I do for YouTube, you know, as a kind of like promoter, a content creator, as a social influencer. I hate using that word, but like people call me that, I'm going to accept it. Yeah, it's just crazy to get where I've gotten. And the last artist I want to talk about here is Space Wizard. I'm not so familiar with Space Wizard, but I feel like it's more weird and just more of the Atliens vibe. It's that weird, experimental, deep, and spacey. You know, I feel like it makes sense. Space Wizard, Atliens, aliens, space. Come on now. It makes sense. So now let's take a look at these. Actually, let's take a look at the New York City stop first. Webster Hall. All right, so for the New York City stop, it is going down Saturday, February 4th, 2023 at Webster Hall. Doors 11 p.m., 19 plus. Atliens headlining, obviously. And then we have support from Hole and Cyclops. And I am really hyped to see Hole in New York City because I've been trying to see him in my home city. It's not my home city, but it's like my closest local city. I got to see him in Philadelphia, and I could see he recognized me. And like, I got to take a picture with him, and then he followed me, and then like he hit me up and was like, "Yo, I can't wait to see your Los Angeles footage from my set." Like, and it's just crazy to like to know that he like sees me out there. So I'm really hyped to see Hole, and I hope that I can kind of like get to interact with him and just network with him because I do have a little bit of a connection at Webster Hall through some homies and shit. Just, you know, basement fam, and just being at Webster Hall fucking every weekend for like 2 years straight until it closed. You know, I've been a familiar face there for sure. Not so much in the green room. You know, I was never in the green room as Brian. I started coming into the green room as the festival Finesser. And like seeing those kids know me as Brian, but it's like we know you're back here because of the festival Finesser. But I'm really not so much in like the backstage crowd. I'm very much in the crowd. So yeah, and then we have Cyclops, who I'm not so much familiar with. You know, I feel like it's gonna be maybe a mix of like heavy and weird. Definitely hyped on Hole, and definitely hyped on ATL to see what they're gonna bring, you know, for a tour kind of you know, set. You know, it's all them. Hopefully it's like a 90-minute set. And, you know, hopefully it's more heavy and, like, mind-blowing than chill and spacey. Because they definitely can do that. They can give you, like, a whole hour of, like, weird and wonky, but I need the flame shooting up and the visuals just, like, spiraling and flashing and strobing and just mosh pits breaking out. Like, I need the craziness, the overwhelming intensity. Yeah, that's the kind of energy I'm here for. So, definitely a fucking crazy tour. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace out.